One more time!
Zyra existed thousands of years ago as the collective hive mind of carnivorous plants that lived together in a place called Garden of Thorns, somewhere in the Shuriman jungle. Zyra, as she is right now, was born in the ancient sorcerer's catastrophe during Rune Wars. After centuries without life in the gardens, Zyra emerged from the lifeless ground, not fully plant nor fully human. She struggled to understand her new existence and came to be curious of the new world she was able to explore. Though her true purpose has not been revealed, Zyra wanders the world, indulging her most primal urges to colonize and strangle all other life from it. I personally was really excited to see that a lot of people play Zyra jungle nowadays, because it just feels right. That is where this champion belongs. After all, she is the incarnation of the jungle herself. But she has no connection with the jungle at all, and that doesn't feel right. There should be more interaction with the terrain for the champion who represents nature. That's why I would like to imagine how more powerful version of Zyra would look like. And maybe come from something like this to this. So let me represent you my vision on Zyra, Rise of the Thorns.
None will escape my grasp.
Her passive is called Garden of Thorns. Periodically, Zyra spawns one or two seeds nearby. Spreading plants with every step actually really fits her. But as I said previously, Zyra should have some connection with nature. And what if she could see if there is someone in bushes around her? She won't know how many or where exactly enemies are, only if there is someone inside or not.
This land is mine.
She could also activate her passive and summon 10 seeds in random location around her. Alternative idea for her active part of passive is called One with the Jungle. Once every 60 seconds Zyra can enter into the targeted terrain, and she can come out in any place around it after 2 seconds. This way she will have some ability, but couldn't use it too aggressively. Also, enemies will see it when Zyra is inside terrain. Zyra's first ability is Deadly Spines. Zyra sprouts thorny spines at targeted location, dealing magic damage to enemies here. Now Zyra's Deadly Spines can also shoot thorns in targeted direction. But it still feels like it should have some more variety. That's why, if you press and hold Q, Zyra will leave thorny spines at targeted location. Enemies that move through it are slowed and take damage every second. And the last one power-up is called Nature Infection. Zyra's Deadly Spines infect any bushes it touches, creating even more spines. Her second ability is Rampant Growth. I can say that this is her most important ability. Zyra plants a seed at the target location, and if your Q or E touches it, it sprouts into Thorn Spitter or Vine Lasher. But in my opinion, there should be more variation of using this ability. First of all, Zyra can use seeds to improve existing one up to 2 times. Thorn Spitter and Vine Lasher are getting bigger and stronger for each improvement. Second of all, let's make 2 new types of seeds, Poison Spores and Tenacious Vine. To create Poison Spores you have to press and hold W. These seeds will look like normal one for enemy champions, but if champion will destroy it, then it will spit out cloud of Poison Spores that will deal damage over time. But Zyra can't grow any plant from this seed. If she uses Q or E on this seed, it will just unleash Poison Cloud. If Zyra plants her seed as a terrain, it turns into Tenacious Vine and becomes invisible after 1 second. When enemy champion gets close to it, Vine will grab him and slow depending on the distance. Effects of vines can combine. Another way of using second ability is interaction with jungle plants, Blastcon, Honeyfruit, and Scryer's Bloom. If you press and hold W on jungle plant, it will respawn or improve it. Blastcon will become explosive trap that activates and explodes after 2 seconds when enemy is nearby. Honey fruit will bloom and heal allied champions around it for 5 seconds. Scribe's bloom becomes sentry plant that releases pollen in the enemy champion direction when he is nearby. Third ability is Grasping Roots. Zyra shoots Surge of Vines that deals magic damage to enemies hit and roots them for a duration. New effect, Delayed Growth. Zyra can recast this ability to snap vines upward, dealing additional damage to enemies above them and knock them out. Also, just as her Q, E would also infect any bushes it touches. If you press and hold E, then Zyra will attack with sharp vines from her hands. And finally, her ultimate ability, Stranglethorns. It also empowers her plants. But that still doesn't feel like it's enough for a champion like this. What if Zyra could use her ultimate on terrain to create thicket around its borders? You can also use air on seed to create giant plant that combine giant tongue spitter and 4 big vine lasher. Here is some alternative how her ultimate could look like. The idea of Carnivorous Plant is to create ultimate that can kill anyone, no matter how much health or defense champion have, but only if they couldn't leave the range of ultimate within 5 seconds. Your ultimate could also look like this. Or Zyra can use ultimate to kill any non-epic jungle monster and made it hurt me. Another idea is that Zyra could get power-ups when she is on the river. She is living plant after all. Little spines could be with smaller area, but would shoot a big thorn that also apply poison to enemy. Her W, if you press and hold it on water, will turn into invisible lily pad and knock out first enemy champion that steps on you. Grasping Roots will look like a torrent from the water that knock enemies up on its way. And her ultimate could do something like this. Thank you for watching and let me know who do you think should be next champion.